just so bland.
It's just so bland.
Oh.
And it's like a missed opportunity, to really make you connect with the character and the world. All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at Dragon Age, the Veilguard.
The Veilguard. Uh-huh.
Big RPG. Obviously, a lot of people are playing it, a lot of people talking about it. And, a lot of the talk that I've been hearing is comparing it to some of the other big RPGs that have come out recently.
Right.
And Baldur's Gate 3 comes to mind, like big story-driven RPGs. And one of the things that keeps coming up is the dialogue and how it's maybe not quite hitting the mark for some players.
Interesting.
So that's what we're going to kind of dive into today.
Okay.
And we're looking at one specific critique from a YouTuber called Cohh Carnage.
Okay.
And he's got a pretty popular channel. He's been playing the game, streaming it.
Right.
Giving his thoughts as he plays, which is always fun to watch.
Yeah.
And he had some pretty pointed observations about the dialogue.
Okay. I'm curious.
Yeah, let's get into it. So he's playing as Rook, right?
Rook, okay.
The leader of this resistance group. And you would think, right, being a leader, that the dialogue would kind of reflect that.
You would think so. Yeah, you would hope for that gravitas of a leader.
Exactly.
The weight of tough decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem to be there. And he uses this great term. He calls it vehicular dialogue.
Vehicular dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically dialogue that just moves the plot forward or explains things.
Oh, I see.
But it doesn't really add anything to the story.
It's just like exposition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, here's the information you need to move on to the next thing.
I got it.
But it doesn't tell you anything about Rook.
Right.
Like, who is he? What are his motivations?
What's his personality like? Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one scene he brings up that I think really highlights this. It takes place at the docks.
Okay.
And there are no boats at the docks. And instead of like Rook maybe reflecting on that, like, oh man, I remember when this place used to be bustling. Or, this is where I said goodbye to my father. Or something, like something to give
him some depth.
Some depth, some personality.
Yeah, make you feel for him.
Yeah, the dialogue is just like, there are no boats here because of reasons.
It's just so bland.
It's just so bland.
Oh.
And it's like a missed opportunity, to really make you connect with the character and the world.
Totally. And I think, thinking about other games like Baldur's Gate 3 that do dialogue really well, it highlights this even more.
Yeah.
Because in Baldur's Gate 3, even something as simple as picking a lock can turn into this really engaging conversation with a character.
You might learn something about them.
Exactly.
You might influence them.
Yeah. You're actually role-playing.
Yeah.
You're not just going through the motions.
Totally. And I think that's what a lot of people love about these big RPGs.
For sure.
It's like you get to really step into the shoes of the character.
Yeah. You want to lose yourself in that world.
Yeah. And when the dialogue is good,
it
just pulls you in.
Makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, for those of you who have played the Veilguard, have you felt this kind of disconnect?
With the dialogue, yeah.
Where it's just kind of pulling you out?
Yeah.
Or have you had moments where you really felt like you were Rook?
Like you were making those tough choices.
Yeah.
As the leader.
Yeah.
Let us know.
I'd love to know.
But even if you haven't played the Veilguard, what are some of the games that you've played where the dialogue has really stood out to you?
What made it so memorable?
Yeah, like what made it so memorable?
Was it the humor? Was it the drama?
Yeah.
The way it made you feel?
The characters, how they were written?
Yeah. Drop those in the comments. We always love to hear from you guys.
Always.
And I know the Veilguard's been getting some mixed reactions.
It has.
But it's still a game that a lot of people are excited about.
Maybe they'll take some of this feedback.
Right.
And maybe we'll see some improvements in future installments or DLC or...
We can hope.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's been interesting to see how people have been reacting.
Yeah, it always is.
And I think it just goes to show how important dialogue is.
For sure.
In these types of games.
Absolutely. It can make or break it.
So yeah. That's our deep dive on Dragon Age, the Veilguard.
There you have it.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
So you don't miss any of our future deep dives.
We'll be back.
And as always, let us know what you think in the comments.
We want to hear from you. See you then.
Bye.